Hi, this is Kevin and welcome to the Byrne Identity. 2 months ago to the day, we were about to play at the Minnesota Vikings, a team that has proven that it is a legitimate Super Bowl contender, featuring a defense that is dominating. We were not a confident team at that time, and we were depleted, especially on offense. And when Mike Wallace had to leave that game early, oh boy. Well, for one of the few times in my Ravens life, I didn't think we had much chance to win. That was a crummy feeling. We were coming off a home loss in overtime to the Bears. We were on the road against one of the best teams, and we were about to lose for the 4th time in 5 games to give us a 3-4 record. My sense is that we lost some of you fans by then. We had the terrible trip to London that included a beatdown by the Jaguars and a dozen players kneeling for the anthem. We came back to the States and lost at M&T Bank Stadium to the Steelers. It was not fun to be a Ravens fan then. Hope for the playoffs outside this building was lacking. In fact, inside it hurt a little bit too. But what a difference 60 days makes. We now control our playoff destiny. We need to beat the Colts tomorrow in Baltimore and do the same to the Bengals on New Year's Eve. And we will have earned the postseason for the 7th time in 10 years. It's the holiday season, and once again, the Ravens are in the playoff mix. What could be better? I talked with a local sports talk show host yesterday, and he said fans have been slow to warm to the Ravens this season. We can understand that. Heck, my faith in the Ravens was shaken before we played our first game this season. Think about it. A year ago at this time, we found out our leading tackler in 2016, last season, Zach Orr, had to retire because of a congenital neck issue. Before training camp, we discovered that our top receiver from a year ago, Dennis Pitta, had suffered a career-ending hip injury. One of our top corners, Tavon Young, wouldn't play in 2017, and our best running back, Kenneth Dixon, suffered a season-ending injury before camp started. Then on the morning of that camp, the first morning, center John Urschel decided to focus his attention to his math career and retired from football. Not a good way to start. At that time, our current starting running back, Alex Collins, was a Seattle Seahawk. And our starting right tackle today, Austin Howard, was a Raider. Joe Flacco arrived for camp with a bad back. He didn't take a snap or practice in the preseason. It was tough for any of us to be optimistic, right? But how about the turnaround, especially for the offense? Imagine Joe Flacco that first week of the season. Joe, while you've been rehabbing your back issue, there have been some changes since you last practiced. This is your center, Ryan Jensen. He didn't have to beat out John Urschel. Well, because John is at MIT using his math genius. Your left guard, James Hurst, we know you thought he was going to be the right tackle. Well, your left guard, Alex Lewis, he's out for the season with a shoulder problem. Your new right tackle, yeah, that's Austin Howard. Hello, Austin. He was in Oakland the last time you practiced. And then your Pro Bowl, likely Hall of Fame right guard and offensive line leader, Marshall Yanda, he gets hurt and says adios to the 2017 campaign. We're going to replace him with somebody we cut a few weeks ago. Meet Matt Skura. But go and win some games for us, Joe. Hope your back is feeling better. Oh, you want to shake hands with this running back we just added to the practice squad. His name is Alex Collins. You had to meet him because our new weapon, Danny Woodhead, didn't make it through the opener at Cincinnati. He'll be gone for 8 weeks. Hello, Alex. It is really amazing when you think about it. We've come a long way. This might surprise you. In the last 7 games, we are 3rd in the NFL in scoring, averaging over 30 points per game. Our point differential, the margin between points scored and points allowed, is 1st in the NFL in that span. Through it all, this team has kept its focus. John Harbaugh and his staff deserve a lot of credit, and the team has gotten better each week. The other thing I've noticed, and I believe this is common to every winning team I've seen, this team likes each other and they are having fun while they work. A week ago Tuesday, the amazing Cardinal Sheehan Grade School Choir came to sing to our team. The song was called Rise Up. It was less than 48 hours after we suffered the heartbreaking 1-point loss at Pittsburgh. It was a little somber at the start of that meeting before the choir walked in. By the end of the song, players were clapping to the beat and they gave a standing ovation to the students. The players then left their seats, joined the choir in the front of the meeting room. They had fun, shaking hands with the kids and the choir director. Somber turned into laugh and hugs. There was a keyboard the choir brought. Someone started playing, I couldn't tell, and the players encouraged more. It was Alex Collins playing the music. Anthony Levine shouted, "Play something we know." And soon many players and members of the choir were singing "Lean on Me," a great song for a team. When you need somebody, then lean on me. For me, it was a great message and showed that we were still together after a tough loss. That we would get through it by being responsible to and leaning on teammates. Last Sunday night, after winning at Cleveland, many of us watched the Patriots and the Steelers game on our charter flight back to Baltimore. That great game was nearing the end as we landed at BWI. The Patriots had just scored to go ahead. Then the TV satellite went out and players started moaning and yelling for someone to get the game back on. When the TVs came back on, the Steelers were on the Patriot 10 with less than a minute to play. Eric Weddle yelled, "How did they get there?" The Steelers then scored the winning touchdown, with a lot of groans coming from our players, by the way. A replay followed, and then our TV screens went blank again. A bunch of guys yelled, "That's a catch, what are they reviewing?" Flacco shouted above the noise, "Guys, that's not a catch. I'm telling you, he didn't take it to the ground." I'd say about 30 of our players started making fun of Joe for his claim. The TVs came back on. Terrell Suggs stood in the aisle. "No one is getting off the plane," he said, "until this game is over." By that time, the first 3 rows were out the door, and that included Coach Harbaugh. Suggs then yelled, "Watch out for Ben and the fake spike." And amazingly, Big Ben faked the spike and threw the interception that ended the game. "We can go now," Suggs said. Everybody laughed. It was funny. In fact, Harbs admitted a day later that he thought the Steelers had won the game and didn't find out otherwise until he listened to a sports talk show on his drive home from the airport. Let's hope we're all smiling on our way home from M&T Bank Stadium tomorrow evening. Let's beat the Colts. Merry Christmas. Hope you're enjoying the holidays, and the Ravens can make them even better by getting to the playoffs. Thanks for watching. We'll talk next week.